Hey everyone, Vilaris here. I wanted to quickly discuss the change to Gromp EXP in the 11.6 patch. The EXP that was removed from Gromp in the 11.4 patch was reverted, and this seems like a pretty straightforward change. However, note where the patch notes state that this fixes a certain level 3 clear route. This might seem a bit strange at first, because the two typical level 3 clear paths that include Gromp are Blue-Gromp Wolves and Red-Blue-Gromp. Both of these paths still gave level 3 after the EXP nerfs. However, there was also a third path that gave level 3, Red-Raptors into Gromp. The 11.4 nerf removed this path from viability, as it left you 10 EXP short of hitting level 3. The revert in 11.6 re-adds this path to the game. I want to discuss this path a bit, as it's so uncommon and niche that most junglers haven't even heard of or considered it. As this meta is still fairly heavy on full clear junglers, this definitely isn't a path that you want to run on the majority of the current meta jungle roster. However, there are a number of junglers with pretty strong early gank potential that are seeing a healthy amount of play, and a few of these junglers may actually consider running this path sometimes. Some examples are Elise, Rek'Sai, and Jarvan. Prior to the removal of the path's viability, there were actually a few challenger players consistently running this path on junglers like Elise. One notable example was Jug242SH, a Korean challenger jungler that peaked in the top 5 on the Korean ladder spamming Elise prior to the nerfs. He ran this path almost every game. So why would you actually run this path? It sounds pretty strange, as it's in direct competition with the standard Red-Blue-Gromp route, yet it tends to take a bit longer to run and leaves you without your second buff. The answer is simple. It takes your Raptors off the map. Typically, junglers that rush level 3 with a Red-Blue-Gromp route are looking to immediately and heavily pressure the blue side of the map. This leaves Raptors and Krugs untaken for an extended period of time, and leaves you with only 5 camps readily available to take: Red, Blue, Gromp, Wolves, and Scuttlecrab. Taking Raptors adds a 6th camp to that list without forcing you to path back to your red side jungle. Consider a game where you want to pressure the blue side lane, but there is no readily available gank after your initial level 3 clear. In a Red-Blue Gromp opening, you only have Wolves available to take before you have to decide whether to wait around for Scuttles to spawn or reverse back to the red side of the map. Meanwhile, in a Red-Raptors-Gromp opening, in this scenario, you can just take Wolves and Blue right into Scuttle. Additionally, in the current meta, you see quite a few junglers running paths like Red start full clears into Scuttle, then heading down into the opponent's jungle to check for camps. Taking Raptors denies the most readily available of these camps, allowing you to avoid dropping to a heavy camp deficit versus common invaders like Kayn and Udyr when you're playing level 3 gankers. The final advantage of this path is that you also have the option of reversing after Raptors down to your Krugs, if the red side lane looks immediately gankable. This gives you powerful level 3 gank access to both halves of the map. Now, I'm not trying to say this is a fantastic new path that's just objectively superior to the traditional Red-Blue-Gromp path. It comes with its own drawbacks. Not every champ is great at running it, as it requires you to have decent AoE at level 2, it tends to take a bit longer than Red-Blue-Gromp, and it leaves you without blue buff during your gank, which may result in some mana issues. As such, I'd make sure to head into Practice Tool and actually check out the viability of this path on your jungler. Make sure it's not too slow or unhealthy compared to a Red-Blue-Gromp path, and that your jungler isn't too mana hungry to make skipping blue worthwhile. And of course, only consider this path if you were going to open with a level 3 clear anyway. If you have an objective read on the pros and cons of this path for your respective champion, then it's a great route to have in your arsenal. That's all for this video. I haven't made a video explaining pathing before, so let me know what you thought in the comments, whether it was too long, too simple, or if you want to see more. Thanks for watching.